Pac, you know, he was like, his mission was, let me stay relatable, let me stay tangible, let me get into the spirit and the bloodstream of the people, and once I do that, then once they're following, they're gonna follow me to wherever I take them. You know, some people get off from the screams and being famous and the popularity. I never asked for fame. I never seen it coming, never knew it was gonna be here, and since it's here, I said, you know what, let me use this stage that God has given me of influence and that scream, whatever that may be, because they're going to listen to whatever I talk about. And so this is where I'm going to lead them. I'm going to say, listen, we're not encouraging you to just go out there and make money. We want to say, this is what you do when you get it. We want to say, these are the right investments. We want to make you aware of your surroundings and the people that are around you and say, listen, you may consider them a friend, but if every time you try and step up to the plate and do something and make moves and make things happen for your life that has nothing to do with drugs and gangster, then if they're trying to talk you out of it, then those are not the people you want in your life, because they're going to keep you where they are. And so Will Smith, who Quincy brought to life and brought him in the game, you know, he said to me, because he's another really close friend of mine and mentor, he said, you can often tell how far your life and career will go based on the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And so I added on to that and I said, if you have a problem with your life, you should have a problem with the people in your life. And so that's what I stand for. That's what I stand for. I'm saying, I'm here. Whatever reason it is that you want to show up to hear us speak, just show up. I don't want no credit. I just want you to hear me out, and hopefully something I say get through to you so that you can make a different choice. And that's why we're here. Another one of my mentors said, if you ever want to invent something, pay attention to what people complain about. And there lies your idea. Yeah. So once you pay attention to what people complain about, it's your responsibility to execute. Because I really believe that the closest experience to God is water and ideas. Because if you don't execute the idea, what happens? It goes to somebody else. You'll be another person at home looking at TV like, man, I thought of that, like, man, remember when I was there just thinking, and then somebody else.
Barbershop the movie.
Really, everybody here has in common is that they're doers.
Yes, sir.
Reverend Murray also said, when you start living your dream, start by waking up. And one of the things that Andrew Young really irritates him when somebody comes up to him and says, I have this idea. He knows what's going to come next. What they're really saying is, I've got this idea, I want you to do it for me.
Right.
And everybody in here has been a PhD and a PhD too.
Right.
We had to fight something that was going on before you guys were born. Ray Charles and I met each other at 14 to 16 years old. He'd come all the way from Florida, starting together. And in the Northwest, you could not afford the luxury or the damage of having an external force determine who you were. This is before Oprah's and Pete Diddy's and Michael Jordan's and all. We didn't have any of that. We had Duke and Basie and Joe Louis. I didn't want to be a boxer. And every day, Ray and I used to say, from the time he left here, was not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me. Not one drop of it. I don't need an external force to tell me who I am. You got to know who you are. First, that's the most important thing. Because you figure out who you are, not let somebody decide. And that's what happens, because people say, you're this, you're like with Michael, you're ugly, your nose is too big, and all that bullshit, you know. It's got to go.
You know, there's so many ideas that I even have, you know, because at the end of the day, I think we're also raising a generation of kids to be in the mind state of employees. You know, you're either going to be in the mind state of someone working at Walmart, or you're going to try and figure out a way to build the next Walmart.
Oh, you know, we don't.
And that's a very, very huge gap. Like, I can't wait to get a job and work for it. No. Work for. That's the wrong concept.
I don't think we say it the way you talked about it a second ago when you talked about somebody's problem.
Right.
For those who are truly entrepreneurs, they've been able to figure out what somebody else's problem is connected to what I love to do, and how can I show them that for this fee, I can make that problem go away.
Right.
And we got to get these young people to a point where they're saying, look, I'm a problem solver. I'm not an employee, and that through my passion, I can solve these problems. And that way I never work for anybody else again.
Right.